Good afternoon. Welcome to Carmsville. It's a farm, mini farm, and garden at the same time. So, in front of my house are two clusters of plants and flowers. So, the cluster is composed of the red poppy flower. This one. Look, the bees are so busy pollinating the flowers. And then also there's the bronze pink copper, the leaves, and below is the spider plant, and it's actually is enclosed in a box. It's like a box, and the leaves, the dry leaves and the dry flowers are put inside the box, which serve as the fertilizer. So I think the fertilizer is working very well because the plants and flowers look very healthy. On the other side, we have the another cluster which is composed of the same plants and flowers, and only this time there's this periwinkle. This periwinkle just grows anywhere, at least in my garden. And then here you have the very colorful plant, a flower, which is flowers with different shades of red, ranging from pink, light pink, to red, maroon. So, followed by the yellow bell. I have three types of yellow bell. This one, and this one, which is a bigger leaves, and then this other one. And then I cluster them together so they look tidy. So welcome to my yard or garden. So on the right side is the bamboo. According to feng shui, it's lucky to have a bamboo planted on the right side of the house. So this bamboo is composed of two types. There's that variety which grows only around 8 feet long and does not grow very big, and I just added another variety so that it looks thick. So there are two purposes or reasons why I planted this bamboo. So that's one. The other one is it will sift the air so that there will be no dust that will get in, or if ever there will be, they will be sifted by this bamboo, because there are windows right behind this plant. So I put that there, and also serves as cover for privacy. So going to the right side is another cluster. There is the mango tree, which is planted underground for a year now, and if you can see, it is not that tall because I keep on pruning it. And according to what I have learned, if you are going to prune a tree, it will make the trunk become sturdy or thick like that, and then at the same time it will not grow that tall. So in this cluster there are three types of hibiscus or gumamela. Unfortunately, only one kind has flowers, because the gumamela, although they don't stop producing flowers, but the flower is good only for one day. So this is one cluster. There's a palm tree below, and then we have the aglonema. There are two types below, and there's also aloe vera. And then tied to the mango tree is this purple purple flowered plant. And then going to this side is this yellow flowered vine. So I put some bamboo here, bamboo sticks, so it can climb in the future. It can grow, continue to grow. And then we have begonia, which I transferred to these pots. There's that San Francisco. There's this plant, I think, which belongs to the family of Caladium. And then there's this what you call a type of pine tree. It's evergreen there. And below I put this golden plant, which I was not able to find the name, and there are magic flowers also, so it will not be boring because anyway it's a very big pot. And the same cluster on the other side, we have still the evergreen, the caladium. There's this plant which was given to me by my friend. There's one kind of sansevieria, and there's this beautiful and sturdy snake plant or sansevieria, and there's bamboo there. And then another cluster are two bamboo trees. Below the bamboo tree, this red bulb type of flowers, and then another set of spider plants, and then these variegated yellow, not green and white plants. Okay, so the bamboo grows thick very quickly, especially if it always rains. So moving on, this is the area where I normally go out if I like to be outdoor. So here where I can chill, but unfortunately this is the sunny side of the house. This gets hot starting at 11 until 3 o'clock. So what I do, I make this area green, and the wall, I made the wall green by putting these copper tone sansevieria. And then there's these vines, one of these flowering, and the flower is yellow. And then there's this hair-like hanging plant where the flowers are red and tiny, and they're all gone. But here are young ones. Then another of the yellow plant. And there's a different type of spider plant. It has softer leaves compared to the other one. Then this area is the area where I propagate the succulent and lemon trees, which I really plant from seeds because I think it's wasteful to throw away the seeds. So I don't throw away the seeds. I put the seeds in one pot, and when they sprout, I replant them. So this actually is a recycling area also. If you take a look at the mug is actually it's chipped off. So what I do is to recycle it and make it a container for these succulent and sansevieria. Then there's this green and white caladium on the side, temporary placed there, but they'll be transferred to pots in the future. And then these are the products that I use. So It's a waste to throw away the container. They actually look nice. They can be repainted later. So it's where I propagate the succulent, because succulents do not need big pots. And this is there are 2 spider plants. And these are the lemon trees, the seedlings of lemon trees. This actually is a bowl that's broken, and it's a waste to throw it away. So I made it as a container to plant these sansevieria, which do not grow big. They are just like that, so it's perfect for them. So that's where I do the propagation of the tiny plants, and then also to recycle the containers. Here, it's a gift from me. It's a tiny gabi-gabi or tiny caladium. This one is a gift during the from the SOE students during the World Teachers Day. So this is where I'd like to chill, especially when the sun is down, or we do some barbecue and other family stuff here during weekends. Then on this side I have lined up there's a third type of spider plant. Then I lined up the aloe vera plants, but these are not the only ones. There are aloe vera also planted on the soil, on the ground, directly on the ground. These are big actually. These are already big. It's about 12 inches. Like 1 foot long leaves. And those are Mayana. And below are the lemon, American lemon. Here, quite bigger than those in the can. And in between I planted ferns, and there's begonia. And there's that fruit there, which I'm still planning to plant. I still have not figured out where. So the Mayana are here. There. Different types. And then this area is actually where the septic tank is. To make it beautiful, I planted sansevieria. I have 7 types of sansevieria or snake plants. I planted them here because they don't grow that tall anyway, and they make the area green. On the other side, I planted taller flowers, especially Dimonella, because I like to cover this area with green to have a privacy, because it's very close to my neighbor's window. Okay, moving on. We have this plant here, birds of paradise, maybe family of birds of paradise. These are where my vegetables are. I started planting vegetables during the lockdown. So starting off with the tomatoes. So this is a different kind of tomato. It's tall. Last April I had a tomato. I had a tomato which bore so many fruits, but it was shorter. So it was a different kind. I don't know what kind because I just plant those that are, well, the seeds and the vegetables are bought from the grocery store. And then there are 2 calamansi here, calamansi trees, the local calamansi. This one I just planted from out of seeds and it's big already. Then I have a pine tree to cover hopefully in the future, to provide some shade. And there are aloe vera, more aloe vera on the ground. And then this is squash, kalabasa, and there is pechay. That's the only one left. So the rest were harvested already. There's kangkong. And then ginger. Yeah. Yan, nakalabasa. On the other side, I have the ampalaya. Very small fruits, ampalaya fruit now. Here. Another one. And the big one is there. I forgot to harvest it. It has grown ripe. So I'll just use it to propagate. So we'll use the seeds. And then there's kangkong on the side. Spider plant. I mixed them because after harvesting the vegetables, the area would look bare. So I mixed the vegetables and ornamental plants. There's the lemongrass, which I try to control because it becomes so thick easily, grows very fast. And then there's the bell pepper, yeah. And then there's the alugbati. There is the alugbati there. There's already fruits or seeds. Then moving on, I have an avocado tree here. It's already very lush, but actually it's just 1 year old. And this is how fast an avocado tree grows, which I also planted from seed out of the fruit that I ate. There is the tinangkong and another ampalaya. So I cover the small fruit because the birds or the insects will eat them. Then may more kangkong on the side. Actually, this box is my compost. All those that can decompose are here. Fruit peeling, fruits, the seeds are thrown here, and that's why there are many plants that are growing. There's santol. Those calamansi, they were not planted, they just grew there. What else? I have an eggplant, still tiny. Then there is the papaya, not planted also, but it just grew there. And kangkong. So I want to make this area covered with grass. So I'm slowly and gradually removing the steps, the cement steps, so that this will be covered with grass. And then the leaves, I use them for the base for the pots before I put the soil. And then the soil is normally bought. It's composed of rice hull and the hulls of the coconut. So I just mix it with the soil from my area. So that's the ampalaya. Moving on. This is the part where the plants are still waiting for me to place them in their permanent spots. So they are just there. There's another tomato that grew on the pot. So they're just there. They're just waiting for me to have time. Normally I work on them on weekends. On the other side of the house, I have here the rain collector. So, or tank full of water. So, it was engineered in such a way that it will not overflow. So, once the water reaches to that level there, it will go to the drainage. So, the water here is what I use for watering the plants. Then, on this side, I have the succulent, the caladium. I have a bonsai here. So this is where I place the plants that are more sensitive to the heat of the sun. Then I have San Francisco gumamela, San Francisco plants that are just green, very leafy, because it's what I need. The purpose why I put them here is to provide privacy from my neighbor, because we cannot build high walls here, we are not allowed. Then another collection of leaves which I will use later on as I do my gardening. And these ones, they just wait for me to have time to put them in the right places, plant them in the right places. So more variety of Aglionema, I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. Then lush greenery and pothos. I have pothos here. Where is it? The leaves have grown big already. Yeah, variegated. So they thrive here because it's cool here. Then these are the newly planted ones, so I hide them from the heat of the sun. Then more varieties of Aglionema. So just green here to provide privacy and at the same time make the area cool. This is squash and cucumber. Look at the small fruit. So they were not planted, they just grew here. And more green leaves, thick leaves, foliage. Then gumamela, I actually have many varieties of gumamela. I have 10 varieties, so this is just one. Then I have a guava tree to provide shade and also medicinal at the same time, because this is what if I get cuts and burn, this is what I use to stop bleeding. And more San Francisco plants. This gabi-gabi or this caladium just go there. So the soil is fertile. There's a gardenia or rosal. This is a lemon tree, quite tall already because it was given as a gift. Then more San Francisco and gumamela or hibiscus. It's going to open tomorrow. Then Aglionema, one variety after another. There. And then we have the amaryllis, the bulb like iris, which will be transferred to another spot later because it's getting hotter these days, these months, and I think they are discoloring, so they need to be taken care of. And then there's the gardenia, and then have sansevieria in this plant by the door. Inside the house, I actually have 11 pots of ornamental plants because I like to be surrounded by plants. So I think I'm going to end now my video. So thank you to Ecoteneo for this project, and I hope that this is going to continue, as this is very inspiring and life-giving. So have a good day, everyone.